In other big developments that we are tracking today, the CVC has submitted its probe report on the allegations made against CBI Director Alok Verma. The Supreme Court questioned why the CVC had failed to submit its inquiry report against Verma by Sunday, saying that the Supreme Court was kept open. The courts were open on the 11th for that reason. To this, the CVC apologized, and the CVC has now submitted 3 sets of the inquiry report. The Supreme Court has taken the probe report on record. Another report, which contains a list of decisions taken by the interim CBI chief M. Nageshwar Rao, has also been submitted. The case has now been adjourned until Friday. So this is, the latest that is coming in is that the CVC apparently made a delay in submitting the probe report against Alok Verma, the CBI director, because of which the CJI observed that the offices were kept open to receive the CVC report, but it just did not come in on time. And now the case has been adjourned till Friday. Only then will the Supreme Court make its observations. This is a very important probe report because this is the CVC probe monitored by a Supreme Court judge on the allegations leveled against CBI Director Alok Verma. Meenakshi Bhanja joining us on the phone line. Meenakshi, the last we spoke to you, you told us that the CJI has made a very scathing observation saying that the report did not come in on time, offices were kept open. Can you take us through the latest in this case, please?
Well, Friday is going to be very, very critical insofar as the question of reinstatement of Alok Verma is concerned. Of course, all eyes were on this crucial hearing today. But interestingly, like we have showcased first on Mirror Now, the aspect of Supreme Court frowning on this delay in submitting of the CVC report, which was slated to be submitted yesterday, because remember the matter was coming up for consideration today. And Honorable Chief Justice of India making this very acerbic observation to Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, saying that how the offices were kept open entire yesterday, which was a Sunday, and in spite of that, the report from the CVC did not come by, to which we also saw an apology from the CVC, and with this, 3 sets of reports have now been submitted to the Supreme Court in a sealed cover. These are the reports which will go on to determine whether or not the midnight overhaul or crackdown on Alok Verma was something which was justified. As per the government, we know the explanations that it was justified. But on the other hand, if the Supreme Court does not find enough material, and if the CVC has not been able to unearth a lot of incriminating evidences against Alok Verma, then we very well may be looking at a scenario where the Supreme Court will go on to restore status quo ante, freedom.
All right. Thanks for joining us, Meenakshi. Of course, we'll keep a close watch on the developments with you, and Friday will be the day when the Supreme Court will make its observation in this case.